Alright, let's talk about that blue and silver can. You know the one. Red Bull. It's everywhere, isn't it? From extreme sports events to late-night study sessions, people drink it all over the world. They say it gives you wings. Now, I'm not so sure about actual feathers sprouting from your back, but there's no denying it gives a lot of folks a boost. The big question, the one we're tackling today, is simple. How is this stuff actually made? It's a mystery to many. We see the ads, the athletes, the can. But what happens before it gets to your hand? What's the secret sauce? It's not brewed in a mystical mountain spring by gnomes. Nope, it's made in factories. Very clean, very high-tech factories. And the process is a fascinating piece of science and engineering. We're going to pull back the curtain. We will explore the journey from raw ingredients to that finished can. Think about it. Millions of these cans are produced every single day. That's a mind-boggling scale of operation. It means every step has to be perfect. Every ingredient has to be just right. Every machine has to run smoothly. There's no room for oops when you're making something this popular. It's a symphony of chemistry, mechanics, and logistics. So buckle up, science fans. We're going on a factory tour. By the end of this, you'll know exactly what goes into a can of Red Bull. Let's get started. First things first, the ingredients. What exactly gives Red Bull its kick? It's not just one thing, but a carefully chosen combination. The main players are caffeine, taurine, B-group vitamins, sucrose, and glucose. And of course, water. But not just any water. Red Bull is very particular about its H2O. They often use Alpine spring water, sourced locally to their main production facilities in Austria and Switzerland. This water is known for its purity and quality. Now let's talk about the other stars. Caffeine. We all know caffeine. It's the stuff in coffee and tea that wakes you up. The caffeine in Red Bull is synthetic. This ensures purity and consistency. Then there's taurine. It's an amino acid naturally found in the human body. The taurine in Red Bull is also synthetically produced to meet high-quality standards. Next up are the B-group vitamins. These vitamins play important roles in energy metabolism in your body. And for sweetness, Red Bull uses real sugars, sucrose, and glucose. These sugars provide energy. This careful selection is the very first step in creating that familiar taste and effect. It's the foundation for everything that follows in the factory. Once all those top-notch ingredients arrive at the factory, what happens next? This is where precision engineering takes over. The process is all about careful, controlled mixing. Think of it like a giant, high-tech kitchen. But instead of bowls and spoons, they use massive stainless steel tanks. These tanks are super clean. The first step is to dissolve the sugars. Sucrose and glucose are mixed with that special Alpine water. This creates a sugar solution, a kind of syrup. This syrup forms the base of the drink. Then the other active ingredients are added. Caffeine, taurine, and the B vitamins are carefully measured. They are then dissolved into the water and sugar mixture. Everything is done in a specific order. The quantities are exact. Computers often control this part to ensure accuracy. After all the core ingredients are mixed, the flavorings are added. Once everything is combined, the mixture is what's called the Red Bull concentrate or base. It needs a few more steps, including dilution and that all-important fizz, before it's ready for the can. Quality control. This is a huge part of the Red Bull story. It's not enough to just mix the ingredients. They have to check, and recheck, and check again. At every stage of the manufacturing process. Why? Because consistency and safety are paramount. Millions of people drink this stuff. So, Red Bull has incredibly strict quality control procedures. This is serious business. They don't mess around here. So what are they testing for? Lots of things. They test the raw ingredients when they arrive. Are they pure? Are they the right concentration? They test the water. Is it clean? Does it have the right mineral content? Then, after the mixing process, they test the concentrate. They check its chemical composition. They measure the pH level. This needs to be just right for taste and stability. One of the most important tests is for caffeine content, and taurine content, and vitamin levels. They need to make sure that each batch has exactly the amount stated on the label. These tests happen continuously. Samples are taken from the production line at regular intervals. This commitment to rigorous testing is what helps ensure that every can of Red Bull is safe, effective, and tastes exactly as it should. Section 5. Bubbles of Energy. The carbonation station. What gives Red Bull its signature fizz? Those delightful bubbles? That, my friends, is carbon dioxide. The process of adding this gas to the liquid is called carbonation. It's a crucial step. It not only gives the drink its refreshing sparkle but also contributes to its overall sensory experience. Without the fizz, Red Bull just wouldn't be Red Bull. So, getting the carbonation right is essential. After the Red Bull concentrate has been mixed and passed all its quality checks, it's diluted with more Alpine water. This brings it to the final concentration. Then it's ready for carbonation. The liquid is chilled. Why chilled? Because carbon dioxide dissolves better in cold liquids. The Red Bull liquid is cooled down to just above freezing. The chilled liquid then flows into a special machine called a carbonator. Inside the carbonator, the liquid is exposed to pressurized carbon dioxide gas. The gas is forced to dissolve into the liquid. The amount of carbon dioxide is precisely controlled. Too little and the drink is flat. Too much, and it might be too fizzy, or even cause problems with the cans. Once carbonated, the Red Bull is almost ready. This carbonated liquid is then held in bright beer tanks. From these tanks, the finished drink is piped directly to the filling line. Section 6. Crafting the can. Red Bull's iconic container. Let's talk about that can. The slim silver and blue Red Bull can is instantly recognizable. It's a masterpiece of branding and design, but it's also a feat of engineering. These cans aren't just pretty containers. They have to be strong, they have to be lightweight, and they have to be perfectly made to hold the pressurized liquid inside. Making these cans is a high-speed, high-precision operation in itself. Most Red Bull cans are made from aluminum. Aluminum is great because it's light, it chills quickly, and it's recyclable. The process starts with large coils of aluminum sheet. These sheets are fed into massive presses. These presses punch out round discs of aluminum. Then, these discs go through a process called drawing and ironing. A punch pushes the disc through a series of rings or dies. This draws the aluminum up, forming the can body. It also thins the walls of the can. After the can body is formed, it's trimmed to the correct height. Then the outside of the can needs to be decorated. This is where the famous Red Bull design is printed directly onto the aluminum. The cans are then coated with a protective varnish. Section 7. Filling her up, cans meet the liquid gold. Now for the really exciting part, the filling line. This is where the finished carbonated Red Bull meets those perfectly prepared cans. This whole operation takes place in an extremely clean, almost sterile environment. You don't want any stray bacteria or contaminants getting into the drink. The air is filtered, the machines are spotless. Workers often wear protective clothing. It's like a high-tech operating room, but for drinks. The empty cans arrive in single file, moving at incredible speed. They are fed into a rotary filling machine. This machine has many filling nozzles. As each can passes under a nozzle, a precise amount of Red Bull is dispensed into it. The filling has to be super accurate. Too little, and the customer feels cheated. Too much, and it could spill or cause problems during sealing. These machines can fill hundreds, even thousands of cans per minute. Immediately after filling, the can lids are put on. The lids, also made of aluminum, arrive separately with the pull tab already attached. A machine places a lid onto each filled can. Then, the can moves to a seamer. Section 8. Safe and sound, pasteurization, and final checks. So, the cans are filled and sealed. They look like the Red Bull you buy in the store. But there's one more crucial step for safety and stability. It's called pasteurization. You've probably heard of pasteurized milk. Well, Red Bull gets a similar treatment. The goal of pasteurization is to kill any microorganisms like bacteria or yeast that might have somehow gotten into the can. This ensures the drink is safe to consume and has a long shelf life. The filled cans travel through a pasteurizer. This is usually a large tunnel-like machine. Inside, the cans are gently heated to a specific temperature for a specific amount of time. The heat is carefully controlled. It needs to be hot enough to kill any microbes, but not so hot that it changes the taste of the Red Bull or damages the vitamins. After being held at the pasteurization temperature, the cans are then cooled back down. After pasteurization, more checks. Section 9. Ready for the world, packaging, and global journey. The individual cans are now complete. They are filled, sealed, pasteurized, and checked, but they don't go to the store one by one. The next step is packaging them for shipment. This usually involves grouping the cans into multi-packs. You've seen them, 4-packs, 6-packs, or even larger cases. Automated machines arrange the cans. Then they are wrapped in cardboard or plastic shrink wrap. These machines work at incredible speeds, keeping up with the output from the filling lines. These multi-packs are then stacked onto larger cardboard trays. These trays are then stacked onto pallets. A pallet is a wooden or plastic platform that can hold many cases of Red Bull. Robotic arms often do this stacking. They are programmed to create stable, interlocked stacks of product. Once a pallet is fully loaded, it's typically wrapped in clear plastic film. This keeps everything secure during transport. From the factory warehouse, these pallets are loaded onto trucks and trains, or they are taken to ports to be loaded onto container ships. Red Bull is a global brand. It's sold in over 170 countries. So, the logistics of getting all those cans to all those places is a huge undertaking.